Coming up tonight on VCU InSight, introducing Arthur Ashe Boulevard, why the name change sparked a debate.
It's happy hour. State lawmakers are making it easier for you to track down the best after-work drink specials.
And cold weather car theft. We talk to state police about why car thieves love cold weather. All this and more.
VCU InSight starts right now.
From the Richard T. Robertson School of Media and Culture at Virginia Commonwealth University, named Best Student Newscast in the Mid-Atlantic, this is VCU InSight.
Good evening and welcome to VCU InSight. I'm Nia Tariq.
And I'm Adam Cheek. Thanks for joining us. On Monday, the Richmond City Council voted to rename the boulevard Arthur Ashe Boulevard. InSight's Talia Fagart is in our newsroom with more on why the name change sparked a debate. Talia?
Adam, while almost everyone agrees that the legendary tennis player Arthur Ashe deserves to be honored, there was a question about whether renaming Boulevard was the best way to do that.
And I had a friend that called me and said, do you know they're changing the name of Boulevard? And I said, no, they're not. They wouldn't change the name of Boulevard.
For 6 years, Supertoe has called Boulevard home.
We really liked the area. We liked the history that went with the house. We liked the walkability.
As a member of the Boulevard Coalition, she always knows what's going on in the neighborhood.
We were a little surprised. We were very surprised. We were never asked for our opinion or even engaged in the conversation from the very beginning.
Councilwoman Kim Gray proposed renaming the boulevard in honor of the late Arthur Ashe, a groundbreaking tennis player and Richmond native.
Boulevard is where a lot of the history of Arthur Ashe took place. His beginnings, he was turned away from the tennis courts on the boulevard and not allowed to play there just based on the color of his skin.
The cost to replace boulevard road signs? About $300,000.
We're hopeful that that is just an overestimation of their signage costs, and we're working with them to work through any issues on that. But I think he's more than worth the cost and the honor of having those signs changed out.
And as for neighbors?
If they say yes, you should change the name to Arthur Ashe Boulevard, we're fine with that. At that point, we feel like there's been a democratic process, and there's also been the opportunity for all of the citizens of Richmond to weigh in on how do we honor Arthur Ashe appropriately.
Residents will now have 2 years to update their information with the post office.
8 council members voted to approve the name change. 1 abstained. Reporting from InSight's newsroom, I'm Talia Fagart.
This winter has been tough on area roads, and you've probably noticed. We're talking potholes, of course. InSight's Tai Wong joins us from the bumpy streets. Hey, Tai.
Hi, Nia. It's bumpy out here, all right. Let's talk about why we end up with so many potholes around this time of the year. It has a lot to do with the inconsistent weather that we've been facing. The water in the ground under the pavement contracts and expands, causing this. This one is about 3 inches deep, but you've probably ran into bigger ones around town. The city tried to get ahead of the potholes by filling as many as they could back in November. But the change in freezing night temperatures and warmer days kicks off that freeze-thaw process. It causes the groundwater and any water that has gotten in the cracks in the pavement to expand and then contract. That causes cracks and eventually holes. If your vehicle gets damaged by a pothole, you may get relief from the city by making a claim. Take a picture of the pothole, take your vehicle to the shop the same day, and save all the paperwork. And if you see one of these potholes, be sure to report it by calling 311. Reporting from Richmond, I'm Tai Wong.
This upcoming car inspection, you may notice a small difference on your car. The sticker is 3/4 of an inch shorter and an inch skinnier. You'll remember that the location sticker was changed last year. The size change is for the same reason, safety concerns. Police say the sticker's security features have also been enhanced to discourage theft.
Virginia may soon make it easier for police to ticket drivers who speed in work zones. Senator Bill Carrico has introduced a bill that would allow state police to monitor speeding electronically. Police would be able to record and photograph drivers using handheld speed monitors. Tickets would be mailed to drivers speeding at least 12 miles per hour over the speed limit. According to VDOT, there are about 2,500 work zone crashes each year.
The city is working to retime traffic signals around town. InSight's Brianna Ray Turner is in our newsroom with more info on this $3.5 million overhaul. Brianna?
That's right, Adam. Each year, there's about 2,700 injuries on Richmond City streets, and this project's all about getting this number down to 0. The city says the retiming is part of the Vision Zero action plan, which is a strategy designed to improve safety for drivers as well as pedestrians. Some of the things you can expect to see out of this project are improvements to high visibility crosswalks, accessible ramps, and better countdown signals. For the drivers, the retiming is to reduce the number of stops and starts and decrease the wear and tear on your vehicle. For the next phase of this project, the lights on Broad are set to be sometime this spring. And don't forget that city officials are telling us that you'll be stopped at fewer lights if you go at or below the speed limit.
Brianna Ray Turner reporting from our newsroom. Thanks, Brianna.
Car thieves stole nearly 10,000 cars in Virginia in 2017, and almost half of those cars were taken from people's homes. InSight's Sarah Daniels reports on a program that's trying to bring that number down.
Looking back, VCU student Casey Cole says she may have been too trusting.
Had my terabyte hard drive that was full of all the work that I've been doing for the past few years, and all of it's gone because they stole it.
In November 2017, Cole was parked behind her sister's house when her car was broken into. Her backpack, which was in the front seat, taken.
It was a terrible idea because I almost left my car running, so they could have, it could have been worse.
According to Virginia State Police, between January and March 2017, 2,200 cars were stolen in Virginia. There's a reason car thefts spike this time of year.
When it's cold outside, a lot of people will come out to their cars, turn the keys, and head back into the house. The car gets warm, but it's also the perfect opportunity for a car thief.
Virginia State Police have launched a month-long heat campaign, which focuses on educating the public on how to prevent auto theft. They recommend a layered approach to protecting your car.
First, it's the common sense approaches we've talked about here today, dealing with taking your keys and locking your doors and not leaving your valuables in the vehicle.
The second layer is a car alarm, or VIN etching. That's where an auto shop sketches your car's identifying VIN number on every window. State police offer this service for free. Sergeant Molnar says even if thieves don't take off with your car, there are other security concerns.
We have a lot of things that we value in our vehicles, be it a laptop, a cell phone, keys. That could lead to other crimes, identity theft.
The FBI says auto theft cost Americans $6 billion in 2017. For VCU InSight, I'm Sarah Daniel.
We've shared some information about the VIN etching service on our social media accounts. Just search for VCU InSight on Facebook or Twitter.
Electric scooters from a company called Bird sure ruffled some feathers when they landed on city sidewalks last fall. Now the city has finally outlined how it wants Bird to do business in Richmond. Under the new plan, dockless scooter companies would be required to pay an annual fee and a $1,500 license fee for each scooter. Riders can operate the scooters only between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m. The city has been impounding the scooters, but that'll stop if Bird agrees to the new rules. Coming up after the break, the cost of college. It's on the rise, and Virginia lawmakers want schools to justify the increase. VCU InSight will be right back.
In-state tuition is on the rise for Virginia public colleges. This school year, it's about 5% higher than last year. InSight's Dakota Rust looked into what state lawmakers are doing to try and stop the increase. Dakota?
Nia, since the General Assembly went into session on January 9th, there have been about 20 bills filed focused on tuition reform. Lawmakers are trying to curb the rising cost of tuition. 3 bills make public comment a mandatory part of proposed tuition hikes. One of these requires colleges to give reasons for raising rates. These bills passed unanimously. Other bills fell through. Delegate David Reed's bill, banning tuition increases more than 10-year state average, failed. Bills offering in-state tuition for students in the process of becoming permanent U.S. residents also failed. An analysis from the Washington Post shows from 2007 to 2017, Virginia tuition and fees increased by an average of nearly $600 a year. But Nia, tuition isn't the only thing on the rise. The Richmond Times-Dispatch reports that Virginia students are paying $365 more per year to stay and eat on campus.
Dakota Rust reporting from our Richmond newsroom. Thank you, Dakota.
Lawmakers just made it easier to track down the best happy hour specials. There's been a ban on advertising drink prices for nearly 70 years in the Commonwealth, but as InSight's Kelsey Jones reports, that's about to change.
If you're a dog on a leash all the time and suddenly the leash is gone, you don't know what to do with yourself. Like, we wouldn't even know where to start.
Alex Marr is the restaurant manager at Grand Staffenstein. He's never been allowed to advertise happy hour specials, but soon he may feel relief, so we're not having to check over our shoulders every time we post something to wonder if we're in that gray area of the law or not. Delegate John Bell introduced a bill that would make it legal to advertise happy hour prices and allow businesses to use catchy phrases like Wine Wednesday or Thirsty Thursday. The bill overturns the ban that's been in place since 1950. He says the change will help businesses and entrepreneurs be successful.
And unfortunately, our laws are very antiquated and out of date.
In fact, Virginia laws are
the most restrictive in the United States, and we need to modernize this.
The bill will allow restaurants to advertise their happy hour specials on signs like these, as long as they aren't encouraging underage or excessive drinking.
ABC Education Prevention Department declined an interview, but sent me a statement saying, ABC will modify current ABC regulations to reflect any improved legislation. The bill passed both chambers in January with overwhelming support. For VCU's InSight, this is Kelsey Jones.
Remember that until 2014, businesses couldn't actually use the term happy hour. With this recent change, they can now advertise their specials and prices.
Guns could be allowed in Virginia's houses of worship if some lawmakers get their way. Senate Bill 1024 repeals the ban on guns in places of worship. It passed 21-19 with every Republican in favor and every Democrat opposed. Supporters of the bill say worshipers may need weapons to defend themselves from potential attack. On the other hand, many Democrats and churches in Richmond say the proposed change disrespects their faith. The House still has to vote on the bill before it can cross the governor's desk.
Another proposal this legislative session, increasing the state's minimum wage. Several proposed bills would have done so, but none of them passed. InSight's Anaya Spraggs is in the studio to explain why.
Right now, 29 states have a minimum wage higher than the federal minimum of $7.25 an hour. Some state lawmakers wanted Virginia to be number 30.
Gurjeet Singh is a small business owner.
Since we opened, it has been going real good.
Who pays more than the minimum wage.
I pay around $9 to $10, so that way they'll be happy and serving.
But those against a minimum wage hike worry that some small business owners may not be able to offer what Singh does.
We don't want to disincentivize businesses. We want to encourage small business and not drive the mom and pops around Virginia out of business by artificially increasing what they can pay their employees.
Senator Amanda Chase says it's hard to find the balance.
I can look at things from both sides. You have the employees who obviously want higher wages. Who wouldn't want to be paid more for the work that they do? And then I also have the perspective of the small business owner who is actually having to pay the money to the employees.
There were several proposals to increase the minimum wage this session. 2 Senate bills would have increased the minimum wage to either $8 or $10 an hour, and 2 House bills would have increased the minimum wage to either $9 or $10.10 an hour.
State Senator Chase says she does support a recent effort to recognize small businesses that pay more than the minimum wage.
So the gold standard is $16 an hour if they do not give health care. They give health care, it's $1.50 less.
That's Rabbi Gary Creditor talking about Richmond's living wage certification program.
So when a parent can come home and provide a living wage for their family, again, I'm not talking about riches, but living wage, their children will see an example of someone dignified in their labor.
The program certifies businesses that pay living wages, and Creditor hopes that through the program,
We'd like the government, our state government and legislators to know that wealth is not made on the backs of the laborers.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that in 2017, 15,000 Virginians were being paid the minimum wage.
When economists have tried to study the effects of raising the minimum wage, they've found conflicting results. With the proposals all tabled for this session, it's an issue lawmakers won't deal with again until next year. For VCU InSight, I'm Anaya Spraggs.
Still to come, community through dance. It's what one dancer calls African Roots Reunion. VCU InSight will be right back.
We've never been very good at sitting still. Maybe that's why we built our campus in the middle of a city. Why we put our classrooms on riverbanks, in Fortune 500 companies, even on stage. At Virginia Commonwealth University, learning happens everywhere. What matters most is how you make it real.
Fit, staying active, and eating better. No matter your health goals, experts say it's important to keep a positive body image. InSight's Elise Kim went to a local health expo to look into how social media can take a toll on how we see ourselves.
This is Kim Woods in 2012, and this is her now.
I started Insanity back in 2012. I guess, took control of my health because I was one of those people that I didn't work out, I was overweight, and ever since then I'm all about health, especially for women.
Here at the Women's Health and Fitness Expo, many women are looking to start their fitness journey too. But Woods says even after losing weight, people still had something to say.
There's a lot of pressure for people to be, everybody says a size 2, a size 4, and then some people get shamed for being that size.
Because of these, young women are facing these pressures anywhere they have access to a phone.
According to the Pew Research Center, 95% of teens have a smartphone, with 51% active on Facebook, 69% on Snapchat, and 72% on Instagram.
Unfortunately, now as time has passed, social media is so prevalent, and there's so much pressure on both younger girls, but also women and working moms to look a certain way, to have a certain image.
Woods says it's clear why social media may set impossible beauty standards.
And it's probably because some people work out, that's their job, and you don't realize they're in the gym hours a day because they have a shoot, they're prepping for this.
However, Dr. Keto wants to remind young adults that nothing beats natural beauty. Elise Kim, VCU InSight.
Researchers have found that using social media can be a risk factor for body dissatisfaction, but there's also a growing awareness about body positivity online.
She wanted to make a difference, so she did. InSight's Brianna Ray Turner sat down with the founder of a project that's creating change at a local elementary school.
I'm here with Kelly Chenault, founder of the Alex Project. Kelly, thanks you so much for joining us. So tell me a little bit about the background of the Alex Project and what does Alex stand for?
Well, ALEX is actually an acronym that stands for Actively Loving and Encouraging Excellence. It is named for a young man who was a friend of ours. He was tragically killed in a car accident June 5th, 2016. Actually, 2015. He was a son of friends of ours. And he had graduated from Hanover High School and James Madison University, originally majoring in business. And then after being out in the work world for a while, he decided to do a life of service. And just days before graduating from the Hanover County Sheriff's Department, he tragically lost his life. The actual idea for the Alex Project had been in my idea field for a while, actually prior to his passing. And when it came to fruition, I needed to name the program, and I was having a hard time coming up with this idea. Right. And it was sort of a God thing. And when I it came to me in the middle of the night, and I said, the Alex Project, this would be perfect because it could not be named for anyone better than Alex Moore. Right. And so that's how it got its name. That's how it started.
That's awesome. So I know you talk about Alex volunteers, right? They're called the Alexes.
Yes.
So what do they exactly do for Donahoe Elementary School?
What we do is we actually match an adult volunteer. Sometimes there are 2 to a class with every K through 5 class at Donahoe Elementary, which is a Title I school in eastern Henrico County. We match a volunteer with each classroom. They spend at least 1 hour per week throughout the school year, and they aim to actively love, encourage excellence with each of those class members. They also act as a hands-on member for the teacher. So they will sometimes attend field trips. They help put on class parties. They help children read, do some extra reading. They will walk around the classroom, do different things like that.
So go into detail a little bit about what exactly is a Title I school.
A Title I school is actually the oldest federally funded program in the country. You can actually Google it. I couldn't give you statistics on the Title I program, but it actually, what it does is it helps to bridge the gap between normal, regularly income, I'm not saying that very well, funded programs that are funded educational schools,
right. Okay.
And it bridges the gap. So they have more books, they have more programs, they have more things that bring the opportunities up to par for those students.
Right. Okay, so I know you've previously told me that not only do the Alex volunteers help out a lot with these children, but tell me a little bit about the teachers. How do they help out as well with this process?
Oh my gosh, the teachers, I could talk for hours about Title I teachers. These teachers have become my heroes. I mean, they are teaching to all the state standards, but on top of that, with these students, they are meeting so many needs on a daily basis. Oftentimes with these students, they are meeting social needs, nutritional needs, emotional needs, sometimes even parental needs, physical needs. They are pulled many different directions. They love having the extra help in the classroom because volunteers aren't something that they are used to having in their classroom.
Of course.
They are amazing professionals. I'm in awe of what the Title I teachers and administrators do, truly.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what are your goals? One, are you looking for volunteers for this project for the upcoming year, 2019?
Always looking for volunteers. We currently have 36 that plug in at Donahoe, and our volunteers are some of the most amazing people. We have students in college, we have retired teachers, we have men, which are amazing to have men that plug in with these students. We have all kinds, from every walk of life. It's incredible.
That's great.
It's just amazing. And the kids are, these incredible kids just soak the attention up. I mean, you will get so many hugs. It's incredible. They love that attention and that extra encouragement. It's amazing.
So your goals, what are your goals for the Alex
Our
Project?
goals would be to continue to thrive at Donahoe, of course, which we are. It's our 3rd year right now. But also to expand our program to other schools that need this. I know that other schools would like to have this program, but right now we're at our capacity because I don't have enough people.
Right.
I would love to be able to expand because I know other schools would like to have us.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you a lot. You taught us all something about the Alex Project. So I've been speaking with Kelly Chenault, founder of the Alex Project. If you're interested in volunteering, we've got some information about the project on the social media channels. Just search for VCU InSight on Facebook or Twitter. Kelly, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
And in our final story tonight, February is Black History Month, a time for where many celebrate their African roots. InSight's Madison Bambini spoke with a local dancer about creating a sense of community through African dance.
I call it African Roots Reunion. The focus is on dances with African roots. So we could do anything from salsa to hip hop to jazz to samba to rumba, all focused on just building community, sharing in community, and also celebrating those shared African roots that all of those dances have.
We really become a group. You know, we're a group. Everybody, you know, we know each other's names, and the new people, we just fit right in. No one is like an outsider.
Well, when I started teaching this class, I really wanted to sort of help remove some of the barriers to dance. So whether that's finances or, you know, feeling like, you know, you have to have a certain level of experience to have just a quality dance experience, I felt like anybody should be able to come and learn, share, enjoy themselves, experience dance.
Instructor Kevin is just always giving. He has such a giving spirit, and he does this. It's no charge, it's donations only, and he's faithful. When he's not here, he makes sure someone else is here to take care of us.
You can see Jones and his dancers performing this year at the community event Mardi Gras RVA on March 2nd.
Looks like fun.
Yep.
That does it for this edition of VCU InSight.
You can see any of the stories from tonight's newscast by following us on Twitter and Facebook. Let us know about any stories you'd like to see on our show.
You can also find the full show on our YouTube page. Just search VCU InSight. Thanks for watching. I'm Adam Cheek.
And I'm Nia Tariq. We will see you next time.